Yeah, let me get it together. I got some family in town. They trying to get me to come outside, all that good stuff. You know what I mean? They'll be strong.
Well, for the family that's out there, we ain't gonna hold y'all today, or at least we're gonna try not to hold y'all. All right. So, like I said, I'm still kind of battling a little bit. I don't want to be on here hacking and saying all the right. So we're gonna try to keep it short. You know what I mean? We just don't know how things really go here on the Drop Your 3 Cent show. So, what I mean, but the whole intent is to hopefully end a little early. You know what I mean? So we can get to it and whatnot,
Hey, well, I mean, even if we end early, I'm still going to be in the house. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I feel you on that one. So you guys, make sure you guys hit the like and the share button. Make sure you're sharing this, please. Thank you to the Facebook family. Thank you to the YouTube. I will do better next week. We're being a little bit more on point. My mind, which is going 50,000 other places, and your boy's a little stressed. But, we're here. So, I'm trying to shake off all the ratchetness. And so while I'm shaking off the ratchetness, I want you guys to watch some of this ratchetness, and then we'll get right back to you.
Let's get it.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy Third Degree. We're back with more ratchet news. Well, some of it's ratchet, some of it's not, but we still got to speak on it. So, let's go.
Well, Judge tosses Sarah Rivers' lawsuit against Diddy. 21 claims gone, only one still standing. That's victory for Diddy. Seems like he's the Teflon Don, huh? All right, moving on. It's being reported that Starz lost 42.5 million and 400,000 U.S. subscribers in the last 3 months, partly due to main shows like BMF Season 4 underperforming. Because Season 4 of BMF was just corny and weird. Like, the writers have just really just gone on in the trash. They need to get 50 involved. Whatever. Moving on. Shout out to Escape's Tamika Scott. She blesses a waitress with a $700 tip after being ignored by other employees at the restaurant. Salute, sister. Moving on. Empire's Brashear Gray, groceries ate by transgender reality star Sydney Starr and leaked tape. Man, we thought it was Jamal all this time, right? But that's really Hakeem? Man, it's crazy, right? Whatever you do in your bedroom is your business. Why does it... Whatever, moving on. Buffalo gunman who fatally shot 10 black shoppers once federal charges dropped claims grand jury had too many white people. Weirdo. May you rot. Moving on. It's being reported that reality TV star Zell, from Love and Hip Hop, is claiming that he's no longer gay after he left his wife for Saucy Santana, but now he's back with the wife. I don't know, it's weird. It just sounds like a whole episode of Love Hip Hop got wrong, right? Moving on. Target continues to take a hit, lost $12.4 billion in market value since the start of the boycott after canceling $2 billion DEI promise. That's crazy, right? Because with that said, Target CEO is stepping down as sales continue to plunge due to the black boycott. So maybe, hey, this is what happens when we all stick together and come up with a plan, right? All right, so moving on. Teen who unalived his dad and fight over electronics walked free after judge shows mercy? What the fuck? Moving on. Texas Democrat Nicole Collier spends night on House floor after rejecting GOP demand for a police escort. It's starting to become like a reality show, right? Bad reality show. Moving on. People take matters into their own hands inside of McDonald's after an employee had fallen asleep while standing. The crazy part is, where were the other employees? You know what I mean? Like, well, it's safe to say she probably doesn't have a job no more. Moving on. Well, speaking of fast food ratchetness, woman who went viral for running a Burger King alone for 12 hours gets fired for being late. They couldn't give her no grace? Yeah, we're going to dive more into this story later. Moving on. Shout out to Lonnie Johnson, the inventor of the Super Soaker, was awarded a $72.9 million in unpaid royalties 24 years after he invented it. So, salute to him. Moving on. Trump just announced that he will be going after all Smithsonian museums that teach how bad slavery was, calling it woke. We are going to talk about this very thing tonight. Moving on. Woman is going viral for showing up to a date eating a steak like this. Yeah, I would have ghosted her too. Dude left and didn't pay. I think she just did it to get, content, you know what I mean? But these people are going too far for content, you know what I mean? But my opinion. Moving on. Drake has just turned Alonzo from Training Day, and he's saying he's putting cases on all you mother suckers. Drake amends his lawsuit against UMG Recordings, implicates Rock Nation, NFL, Spotify, TikTok, Sir Lucian Grange, John Janjek, Apple Inc., Amazon Music, Pensake Media Corporation, Complex Networks, and more in 2025 Super Bowl defamation scandal and allegations of covert marketing, licensing disputes, and platform manipulation. Which is crazy because UMG responds like this. UMG is saying that they have documents allegedly on Drake's relationships with minors and ready to expose them in court. I think he opened up a can of worms I don't think he wants to dive into, right? My 3 cents. Moving on. The judge rules that DDG and Halle Bailey are not allowed to share their son on social media. It's sad that a third party had to get involved in this crap, right? And I don't even see why people are this much invested into their relationship. It's just sad. Moving on. We're going back to fast food ratchetness. McDonald's to slash combo meal prices to win back budget conscious shoppers because I guess apparently it's too expensive. You think? All right, moving on. Yo, this cat looks more like Tupac than Tupac himself. That's crazy, right? Moving on. But did you DY3? Yo, get your hat right now at king3rd.com. Moving on. Brandy and Monica team up with Dunkin' for a new cereal and milk latte collab. The latte is mine. Hey, great marketing. I want to check out this tour, right? Moving on. The FDA warns the public not to eat certain great value frozen shrimp at Walmart due to possible contamination with radioactive isotope. Why are you eating great value shrimp anyway? Moving on. It's being reported Jay-Z becomes the world's richest musician at a network of $2.5 billion. Salute to Hov. Eve reveals she dated Suge Knight to get revenge on Dr. Dre. Just crazy, right? Vindictive, aren't we? Moving on. Shannon Sharp says, you don't draft a kid that talented just to send him behind somebody collecting Social Security. Basically, over the Browns, basically choosing Joe Flacco over Shador. So maybe he should be telling himself that when it comes to these hoes. Moving on. Monique says Tyler Perry must apologize loudly and pay up to 12-year to end it. Man, why don't you just go somewhere and just get over it, man? My opinion. Moving on. Eric Menendez denied parole to remain in prison for his parents' murder, as he should, or unalive. Moving on. Shout out to Gavin Newsom for being petty and firing back against Trump. This is what Kamala should have been doing, right? Moving on. Woman sleeps with husband's friend after he loses his job. These girls are just scandalous, right? Moving on. Jaylen Brown's father, Quentin Brown, accused brutally parking lot stabbing. Crazy, right? Moving on. Last but not least, Memphis jury acquits Hernandez, Govan, and Young Dolph unaliving case after 3 years.
Anyway, I'm your boy Third Degree, and that's been your Ratchet News. Enjoy the show.
You.
What's the deal, my brother?
Not much, man. What you seeing there?
Hey, go
ahead.
Nah, I would say Burger King, y'all better count y'all days, man. Y'all better count. We already don't be messing with y'all like that for real. You know what I'm saying? That is absurd. You know what I mean? That lady brought all that notoriety. I went to Burger King the other day just because it was the closest thing to me. And y'all not popping like that. You know what I'm saying? It'd be empty out there. Y'all out there with Arby's now. You know what I'm saying? Nobody pulling up the Burger King. For real. Denisha, be quiet. You know what I'm saying?
What did she say?
I like Burger King. Listen to her. Nah, but yeah, that's horrible. You know what I'm saying? You'll find that lady for being late to work after she was at work 12 hours by herself. The audacity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Damn, what was the other one? That Young Dolph thing is kind of crazy. And I've been watching Shador. This is the only pushback I got on the Shador thing. Yes, our brother is talented. Yes, our brother is an amazing quarterback, right? We also have to understand that most rookies don't get to start. Let's just be honest, especially not with an experienced quarterback on the roster. You know, they probably gonna give it 2 or 3 games. Joe Flacco gonna go out there and do what Joe Flacco do, which is probably lose or get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Man, 40 years old. So I need people to relax. Shedeur is standing on business right now. He proving it. He's doing what he need to do to make it a conversation, because if you look at the numbers, I've been following it, even though I don't like Cleveland Brown, but I just been following it because I've noticed a pattern with individuals who go into different leagues who have prominent fathers are low-key ostracized. What up, certified? But it's been a pattern. Those individuals in the league who have fathers that speak up for them of our color persuasion usually get ostracized. It happened to the Ball brothers. It happened to Venus and Serena. Anytime there's a black father involved, they tend to try to punish the athlete, and I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? It keeps showing up, and we can pretend that it's not because of what it is. But I think these leagues like this crack baby single mom story for these great athletes. You know what I'm saying? Hey, my daddy was never in my life. My mama worked 3 jobs to get me here. I got 7 brothers and sisters. Like, they love them stories. And it gives them that white savior complex. You know what I'm saying? That clear savior complex, should I say. So, you know what I mean? I pray my brother does what he needs to do, but I think he's more than prepared and more than capable for when his time comes. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just got to let it rock out and let that brother shine, because the rest of them other 3 quarterbacks over there are trash. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be honest. They're trash. So, yeah, that was that. And then some of the other topics I think we're going to talk about, so I'll hold my judgment on those. What's up, Miss Knight? But, yeah, that one kind of bothers me, the little Shedeur thing. She talking to you, Third.
Yes. Hopefully it burns whatever is left in here out of my system. This ain't tea. This is Hennessy. No, this is tea. This ain't Hennessy.
What you got in the ratchet news, though, man? What you got? What you popping?
Man, you know me. I be doing so much of it. Yeah, there's a lot. Make sure you guys are hitting the like, share button. For whatever reason, I cannot comment on Facebook right now, so it's not giving me an option to comment. I can't even put the link in the comment section for y'all, but it is in the description. So if you guys want to come on, it is in the description. But let's just blow up the algorithm on Facebook for me, please. Just do me that. Just share. Make sure you engage. Hit the comments. You know what I'm saying? Let's light up the comments. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the YouTube folk. But yeah, I'd have to go back and watch. I was kind of ripping and running, trying to get a towel where my head. It's hot out here. But, you know, there's a lot of ratchetness in there. Like you said, this Shedeur thing, Burger King. I used to work at Burger King, the one out there in the Carlsbad Mall. That was the Burger King / Popeyes. So I'm highly disappointed in their actions, you know, against that young woman. It's about hot damn time McDonald's cut down them combo prices, you know. I hear, you know, charging guys, good people, high dollar for that crap. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? Like, you know, you go through a recession and it's typical, you know, business owners, people of money and stature get rich while, you know, the middle class and the poor get poorer. So, you know what I mean? So they want you to try to sit there and nickel a dime to buy that high quality garbage. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the only thing I really messed with at the McDonald's was the Big Mac anyway. You know what I'm saying? The strawberry cream pies. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? So shame on them.
Yeah, I only rock with the fries. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Alexander, that's exactly what I said, man. Don't nobody really be messing.
They fell off. You remember Burger King back in the day? Burger King, Carl's Jr. used to be like high quality burger. You know what I'm saying? It used to have that distinctive smell. You know what I'm saying? It used the taste. You could back in the day, you could totally tell the difference between a McDonald's burger, a Carl's Jr. burger, and a Burger King burger. They all smell different, and now they just kind of just blend in the same. And yeah, I'd rather eat at Carl's Jr. than Burger King, because Burger King gives you the bubblies.
Man, I'm a Wendy's gentleman myself. You know what I'm saying? I love Wendy's. You know what I'm saying? That's my go-to spot for real. Outside of Popeyes. Yeah, I'm. You know what I mean? I'm a number one double patty. You know what I'm saying? No tomatoes, no onions type of dude. That's my joint. You know what I mean? Or good old Popeyes. You know, love that chicken from Popeyes. You know what I'm saying?
It used to be the truth. The Whopper, the Whopper with cheese, man. No tomato, no onion. It used to be the go-to thing. You know, I was in heaven when I was working there, no lie. You know what I'm saying? But, with that being said, if you're in the LA area and you want a nice, good burger, why not go to the Marathon Burger? You know what I'm saying? Right. If you're going to be paying high-quality dollar, at least pay some high-quality dollar for some high-quality food. You know what I'm saying? It's very tasty. You'll be supporting them. I'm trying to tell you, it's a different type of burger, man. I really appreciate it. So definitely, if you're in the LA area, i.e., whatever, take the drive out, go to the Marathon Burger, go support a good burger.
Yeah, I'm man. I can't wait till January. I'm sure pulling up. You know what I'm saying? To give me a Marathon Burger, that Wagyu beef. You know what I'm saying? I heard they got some good wings up there too. So I got
wings are tasty.
I got to sample that. You know what I'm saying? So,
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I had the wings over there. And then when we went out to San Diego, I had some wings at that pizza joint, right? And they were like, it was all big ass wings and breaded. I'm like, you know what? After having the wings I had at Marathon, I can't do it.
Yeah, it's different. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't like them big Arnold Schwarzenegger wings, man. I don't be messing with them. You know what I'm saying? Give me a regular wing. I don't want these pumped up on steroid wings, man. I like regular size wings, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the way to go. But all right, man, let's get into the show, man. What we got on the agenda?
I'm mad I can't. Something is happening. Something's happening. Like I said, y'all, do your boy a solid. Share this on with your feed. If you guys are on YouTube, share. We love you. Thank you for the love and appreciation. We got a live show tonight. You know what I'm saying? But we had Amanda Seales. I know she's a little, out there with her character, but she took on 20 conservatives, black conservatives. So we're definitely going to talk about that. Also, too, this is something that, that Quez had brought up. We were going to touch on a little bit. Is Black history going to be canceled or erased? Because other folks, these black conservatives, Donald Trump wants to eliminate or he wants to go at any Smithsonian museum that is pretty much educating folks on how hard slavery used to be, calling it woke. So now he's attacking Black history. Also, too, shout out to my cousin Erica, up there in Northern California. She brought up some a few weeks ago. When we're talking about the top fives, we talked about top 5 LA rappers, New York rappers, female rappers. Now we're going to go up to the Bay, the top 5 Bay Area rappers or top 10 Bay Area rappers. I seen something with Money B the other day where he was talking about his top 5, and I was shocked and astonished that he didn't even mention his boy Pac, his bandmate. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm gonna say this as a public service announcement. The Pac slander has to stop. Okay, you know what I'm saying? He's either gonna go up on the Northern California list or the Southern California list. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna be even biased. He does not go on any East Coast lists. Maybe Baltimore, but no New York rapper, because nobody from the East Coast was trying to claim this man when he was alive. So the Pac slander has to stop. And if you don't have Pac on your top 10, list, I can't even take you serious if you're from the Bay or if you're from LA. You know what I'm saying? I can't take you serious. But again, these top 5 or top 10 things are selective. So we're going to give a generalized idea of what a top 5 should be from the Bay. and then we'll give our personalized ones because the personalized list, of course, are subjective. So, with that being said, I cannot put the link to come on as a guest in the comment section for whatever reason. Facebook is hating on me. I think I'm about to get some type of strike, or there might be some people out there who are striking me, whatever. So but I do have the link in the description. So go to the descriptions, hit that link. If you want to come on, just know if you're using your phone, make sure you use your headphones, and everything is going to work as a microphone. So they will pick up on everything. So you want to make sure that you're in a nice quiet spot. You got your Wi-Fi right near you because we don't want no blotches, no glitches or whatever. Also, too, we want to make sure you're in a nice quiet spot because we want to make sure we hear everything that goes on the show. Also, too, make sure that there's no eating on camera. You turn on your phone. There's no other extracurricular activities in the background. Just take some time out, some you time. Isolate yourself and just come kick it with the show for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? The kids can wait. You know what I'm saying? Put some TV on, or let them play outside while you handle your biz on here. Also, too, if you come on again, especially with the topics we're going to talk about, things can definitely be subjective. Just know that it's all good. Nobody's here to make you subscribe to your beliefs, and no one's going to subscribe to your beliefs. We can coexist. So just make sure you keep it respectful. No pulling up. No veiled threats of gun talk or whatever. Just keep it nice and respectful. You know what I mean? No weirdo stuff. And just come on and just really just have fun. This is Friday. You probably been working your ass off all week. You know what I'm saying? This is a spot where you can come and unwind and chill out, have a nice safe space, and chill out with your folk right here. So this is the whole atmosphere that we're trying to create with Drop Your 3 Cents.
Amen. Let's get to it.
All right. So with that being said, we're going to show love to people who show love to us. And we'll be right back to you. All right. So hang tight, and we will be right back with a few. We'll be right back to start the show. So.
This soul food spot is a hidden gem in San Bernardino. With $10, you get a full plate and they do not hold back. It's a family-ran spot and they make you feel right at home with the crispy fried chicken that's juicy, mac and cheese and collard greens that slap, and their crispy fried fish. When you pair it with the yams and the potato salad, it's game over. Top it with the dessert, all homemade. The food hits, the prices are beyond fair, and the hospitality is great. All at Melba's Soul Food Kitchen in San Bernardino.
Uncle Nearest Premium Whiskey is a brand of Tennessee. Whiskey honoring Nathan Nearest Green, the first known African-American master distiller. The Nearest Green Distillery, located in Shelbyville, Tennessee, is the world's first distillery named after an African-American. Green is credited with perfecting the Lincoln County process, a charcoal mellowing method that defines Tennessee whiskey's smoothness. Get your bottle today.
Hello, family. I'm Marquez.
Hey, you guys, and I'm Denisha.
We all want the best for our children, right? Security, opportunities, and a future filled with endless possibilities.
That's right, but here's the question. What are you doing today to create that future? Imagine building a business that creates generational wealth, leaving a legacy that grows even when you're not working, showing your children what it means to dream big and take action.
That's right. With PlanNet Marketing, we offer you the opportunity to earn income while still being present with and for your family. We show you how to invest in their future while securing your own, and teach them by example what financial freedom should look like.
And don't just tell your kids to dream big, show them how it's done.
That's right. Comment below, or
you could just message us for a direct link to our presentation.
All right, y'all. And we are back. We are back. We are back. So shout out to Method X SD. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Melba's Soul Kitchen in San Bernardino. You know what I'm saying? Like, definitely. Bro, you want to know something crazy, right?
What's up?
I got a notification from Google, and Google hit me and said, hey, your photos have got like 60,000 something views. Went back, you know, the stuff I posted up from Melba's. One video had like 14,000, another had like 6,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is all on Google. You know what I mean? So people are going there and checking out the reviews or whatever. So shout out to all y'all who are definitely supporting Melba's and definitely supporting me. You have turned me into an influencer by accident.
Hey, man. Ain't nothing by accident. It's all by hard work, dedication, and the right purpose, man.
Very true. Very, very true.
That's it. That's it. That's all, man. Shouts out to that. And shout out to Melba. Shout out to the crew over there, the Fam Bam. You know what I'm saying? I'm be pulling up to get my plate when I come out there in January 2. And I want the 3rd degree special. You know what I'm saying? that he took all full advantage of. You know what I mean? I need my plate. Just know. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm coming to pay full price and show full support, man, because that's what it's supposed to be.
They definitely gonna do that. Even if you pay, man, bro, I'm telling you, they go hook you up. Say if you get the 5-piece, the chicken, they gonna give you. He's gonna make sure he get you all the right pieces of chicken, bro. You're going to go to sleep full and happy. You know what I'm saying?
Dark meat only. I don't want no light skinned chicken. You know what I'm saying? Dark meat only.
Even down to the dark meat. You got militant?
Yeah, that dark meat chicken, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't want no breasts, none of that thighs, legs, baby. Come on.
Man. Yo, so it's crazy, right? So Facebook is crazy hating. I ain't even put up no music. You know what I mean? So somebody's hating. But here's the thing. So it says we only got like 20-something views, but we seen like Alexandria, you know, certified. I see the people hitting the emojis and all that stuff. So I don't believe it's 20 views. But Facebook is definitely hating. So just make sure if you guys are watching, you know, just go to YouTube, King3RDD, you know what I'm saying, or drop your 3 cents, you know what I'm saying, like how you see it going across the screen on YouTube. You can comment, you can love there, you know what I'm saying. So we will not be defeated.
I know, man. You know what I'm saying? That's always a sign of progression, man. When people start to hate, I take that as direction that I'm on the right path, man. You know what I'm saying? Keep hating. Appreciate you.
Correct.
Appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? You want to see me quit like you do in life. I can't quit like you because I'm not built like that. You know what I'm saying?
Talk your stuff.
Yeah, I ain't no quitting over here. You know what I'm saying? You can hate all you want to. We still gonna show up every Friday. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, you know what I mean? We gonna be here consistent and precise, man. And that's what
talk your stuff.
Yeah, if you hate consistency, then you probably hate your life. That's what I'm gonna say. Because it's probably horrible
stuff.
You know what I mean? But neither here nor there.
There be them ones that be quietly watching too. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm still here.
Look, I don't know about all that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, man. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. People that usually hate usually don't really got nothing going on. And that's okay. Because you can come here and be great with us on Fridays and drop your 3 cents.
Very true.
Shirt coming soon.
Yes. Oh, we worked out that discrepancy. So, yes, it is live on the show. So, if you go to king3rd.com, you can get your Friday Night Greatness shirt. I'm getting ready to design another one. Don't hate the greatness. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, maybe a black fist in the middle. I don't know when I'm gonna cook up yet, but I be cooking up these designs for you. Also, too, just so you know, it is summertime. We're towards the end of it, so make sure that you put in your orders now for your hoodies. I got the beanies going to be back popping, so you get your 3rd degree or DY3 beanies popping, and I got the joggers going too. So you know it's my favorite time of year. So
okay, player, you know what I'm saying? We see you with the merch. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Drop the merch on them. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong.
King3rd.com. All right, so let's get into it real quick.
Let's go.
So Quest's homegirl, Amanda Seals.
Oh shit! Why everybody gotta be my peoples? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? For everybody to hate me so much, everybody my peoples. I don't know. Man. I don't.
You know, she's an eclectic type of character. You know what I mean? She's definitely not for the faint. You know what I'm saying? But I do like the fact that she's an educated sister. You know what I mean? She's definitely well versed and she's really articulate. Sometimes I don't agree with her direction or some of the things that she talks about, but anybody that kind of lights a fire and puts the quote unquote Black conservative in their place, I'm always going to be a fan of. You know what I'm saying? So she basically was, as a recent, she took on 20 Black conservatives. So for the sake of the show, we can't necessarily show you all of it, but I do have a clip, and then we will definitely touch on it. So I think this one Quez will definitely appreciate because this boy was completely just ignorant.
Trying to protest against. You guys don't ever do this. KTS.
You
Dre,
guys don't ever do that.
KTS
Who is
Dre.
you guys?
Members of the Black community that want to hold people accountable, especially Black people. So KTS Dre was shot 60 times outside of Cook County, Chicago. How many BLM members came out? You earlier said BLM
Stop
is about
referring
police.
to me as you guys.
Okay, that's fine. So, for example, we had a really good example of this where it's not a police because I remember you
Where
said.
are you from?
Where am I from? What do you mean by that? Like, what state am I from? Where was I born?
Where do you live right now?
I live in Florida. I was born in Angola, though. I was born in sub-Saharan Africa. Okay.
Where did you grow up for most of your time?
In Maine. I lived in North America.
In Maine.
Yes.
And what is the population of Black people in the town that you're from?
It's really extremely low, but I grew up around Black people, and there was a Black community where I lived.
And that Black community that you lived in, did they teach you about Black history in the United States? Like, are your parents Black American?
Yeah, my mom is Black. My father is Black.
No, I'm asking, were they born in the United States?
No, because I wasn't born there.
Oh, so you guys are all from Angola?
Yes. But again, I like I told you earlier, right? Trying to protest.
Sources are not, you're not able to cite your sources. Please go sit down.
Yeah, that's the truth.
It's
you
not
can try
the
to avoid
truth.
it.
It's not the truth. It's not the nothing you say is actually the truth. Nothing. You're not even American. You're not even a Black American. As the daughter of an immigrant, it is imperative that Black people from other places understand the disparate difference that they exist from Black people in the United States. It is not the same. Period. And ultimately, the best effort that we can do as a diaspora is to lead in understanding, not in judgment. So when I am talking to somebody from Sudan, from the Congo, from Angola, I am listening to understand their experience, not to undermine it. And I refuse to allow anybody from Grenada, from Angola, from any other place to come and try to undermine the experience of Black Americans.
You knew I was gonna like that one, huh? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But no, I'm glad she put that in there. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't agree with Amanda Seals a lot, but I can appreciate when you're right, you're right. You know what I mean? And I think that's been the major disconnect. Between people who immigrate here and the foundational Black Americans is the fact that when we go to their homelands, we go there looking for understanding. We don't go to pass judgment. We don't go to belittle or undermine those communities. We go to see what's really going on because we see them Sally Struthers commercials with, you know what I'm saying, just 30 cents a day and flies on kids' eyes. And, you know what I mean? We could be I'm being serious. Like, you know what I mean? Because right. I've heard, a lot of these individuals like, oh, we feel like that about y'all because we see the media. And that's bullshit to me because we see media about y'all too. And we never once felt like, oh, yeah, everybody in Africa is starving and they need 30 cents a day. We never felt like that. We actually go over there and try to understand and try to help y'all plight. So I'm glad she cleared that up. You know what I mean? When you come over here, you should be willing to try to understand and not give us that. My parents came over here with $2 and they built a life and a dream. So you just need to work hard to get to where we at, and without understanding the nuances that plague, Black Americans here. So good job, Amanda. Good job.
So
go ahead.
My thoughts, views, and opinions, and I'm going to sound completely ignorant, so I'm just giving you guys a warning. You know what I'm saying? Like I might sound a little ignorant, a little whatever you want to call it, whatever. How do I say this without alienating people like Cardi B? The thing about it is that it's not wrong to be a Black conservative or a Black Republican, per se. But when you start using the terms of they and you and you people, and when you start acting brand new and you start putting on that jacket, I despise you. You know what I'm saying? I really have a certain disgust about you. I wonder, especially with a guy who quote unquote grew up in Maine. You know what I'm saying? Like I do feel like maybe you're a little disconnected from reality. You're out of touch. And then, my thing is, so when people bring up stuff, and especially when Amanda Seales is hitting on certain points, why do you feel the need to bring up Chicago? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the go-to point. It's what you regurgitate to really just make you sound stupid. You know what I'm saying? Because, again, at the end of the day, there's violent crimes amongst all races, the highest being amongst white people, because they simply outnumber a lot of people here in America. And then we were talked about this previously on some of the show, that the highest crime committed against white crime happens to be domestic. So in layman's terms, some of these clear men are beating the SHIT out of their clear women. So I'm just saying but nobody seems to ever want to talk about that. Or if we're talking about rights, of civil rights, or certain things or injustices that happen against us, police brutality, the unaliving of unarmed or innocent Black bystanders or whatever, that seems to be the go-to for some of these clear conservatives. And then for you of the darker hue of pigmentation to take on and regurgitate the same narrative just makes you look like an ass. You look like a complete ass. You know what I'm saying? Because again, you're going against what we perceive to be, the same skin color. And it's complete and utter ignorance. You know what I'm saying? And for a person of her stature and her educational level, I'm glad that she picked apart, and I'm definitely glad that she exposed the lack of history or the lack of knowledge that some of these people, quote unquote, say that they have.
No, I went to today to watch the full thing in preparation for the show. Because when I talked to you earlier this week, I told you, I was like, man, I got about 10 minutes in and my brain started hurting. You know what I'm saying? Because the lack of empathy and the blatant white supremacist talking points, just I was like, yeah, I can't force myself to entertain this type of nonsense and rhetoric. I know it's entertainment, and I know people need to see these things, but that doesn't mean I have to participate. But I went back, and what I will say is that I'm glad that Amanda Seales did kind of a mini crash course on Black American struggle here in America, that it seemed that a majority of those individuals on there are first generation Americans, you know what I'm saying, which is crazy to me. So when we're looking at some of these individuals who look like us and sound like us and dress like us, to realize that, out of those 20 individuals, I want to say a good majority of them were come from an immigrant background and don't understand the plight of Black Americans. in this country, and they equate it to, oh well, in my country things were bad too. The only difference being that we didn't run to your country. Like we stood here and fought. You know what I mean? And we're still fighting. And it doesn't help the fight when you come over and say, hey, I'm black too, and look at me. Because a lot of what I heard during that hour and a half of my life that I spent on that was lack of accountability. You know, black people, they don't have accountability, or they're begging for handouts, or they just continue to be victims, right? But nobody passes that same judgment to you because you came to America because you were a victim, right? And the reason you were allowed to come to America was predominantly because of the fight that Black Americans put up to get you guys, you know what I'm saying, equal citizenship over here. Because before the 1960s, there wasn't a large portion of melanated people coming to America. Most of those immigrants were Irish, Jewish, you know what I'm saying, Italian. You know, that's what America wanted over here, to boost those white numbers, which is why we have the disproportionate rate of, you know, white to melanated people over here. But I'm glad our sister handled that well in that environment, because just watching it frustrated the hell out of me. You know what I'm saying? I promise you, I was so frustrated. I said, this has to be a joke. Like these people can't be serious. To me. Yeah, it was absurd.
But wait, well, you know what? Let's get to some of these comments. Method XSD said church. If you want to come on, man, the link is in the bio. Alexandra, you know, truthfully, you've been a huge supporter of this show from like day one. I would love for you to one day come on here, you know what I'm saying? And definitely
waiting on you, sis. You know what I'm saying?
Alexander says the man was from Maine, and that clearly shaped his point of view, which is extremely narrow. Very, very true. You articulated that very well. Let's see. I do have another clip. I tried to upload to some. There was like just clips that were like 5-minute clips, and are you stuck in traffic? Yeah, traffic was crazy even out here. So I don't know what's going on today. Let's see. Let's see what I got here. Oh, there was one more with this one other sister. So we're gonna definitely watch that one, and we're gonna pick this one apart too. It's a little longer, so bear with us, folks.
Y'all just want to be seen. I don't need to be seen. Hello.
How are you? I'm Jasmine, the pretty lady. Say less outfit. Okay.
Thank you.
So this is my thing. I think the premise of your question was black on black crime. So I think I'm coming from a place, and I guess my issue is having had my biological father murdered by a black man, having had my cousin shot in the head by a black man. We can talk numbers and statistics and what the people are doing, and what the white man is doing and all that. But at the end of the day, I see when my family lives on the south side of Chicago, and I think you and I both can attest to this, and I'm not saying that there are not other factors, but we know that we kill each other at a disproportionate rate than any other race. Now, why we do that and why 6,000 to 9,000 black men are going to be homicided or killed or whatever by the end of the year annually by other black men, whereas the likelihood of a black man being killed by a white police officer is less than 150 per year, we know that we kill each other at a higher rate. So I'm not debating that there are not factors at play, but because I've lived the experience as a black woman losing my father to be murdered by a black man, walking down the street, by the way. No worries, thank you. But walking down the street in inner cities and different things, knowing that it's more likely that my own brother will rob and rape me than a white man or a white officer, we got to be real.
What's your proximity to white men in the south side of Chicago? Are there even white men around to rob and rape you at the same rate that there are black men?
There are white men around.
At the same rate?
There wasn't a lot of black people in there, but then that doesn't justify the fact that we're destroying each other. So even if we get to the root, like we can agree on that, okay, because I feel like a lot of
nothing
times liberals
justifies,
will argue like, well,
I'm not a liberal.
I'm
not a liberal.
Okay, well, I will say that people that sometimes have your stance that are against conservatives, maybe, they have this claim that they're making it up, they're making up the numbers. We know that we do that to each other. So I want to get to the root of the issue. Why are we killing each other? I think the root of the issue is we've lost our values and we've lost our resilience as Black people. We sit there and we talk about what the white man did and we talk about slavery and everything like that, but we have no self-accountability and say, you know what, at the end of the day, that is my Black grandmother, that is my Black sister, you are my Black sister, and you know that a Black man is more likely to rob you or commit some type of crime against you, and that's what we need to get down to the issue of. And like you were talking about earlier, like, hey, well, what's going on? You know, what do you think the answer is to one of the brothers that were speaking? I think it's the breakdown of the family. I think, like he said, because of our poor choices, and what happens is we look at domestic violence, for example. When domestic violence, women or men are even attacked, what is the first thing we say? It's like, you know what? It's not your what? It's not your fault. So that's what we do. We hold on to this narrative that, well, it's not our fault, and the issues in our community are not our fault, and the white man needs to give us something. The old white lady down the street is looking at me, and I don't know why she got braids in her hair. And we focus on all these other stupid things that don't matter. We don't get to the root of the fact that we're killing each other at a higher rate than any other race. It is self-hatred amongst us. I believe that we can do that. That we, my cousin, my mom's cousin, excuse me, coming from the church parking lot, and guess who stuck her up and robbed her at gunpoint? A Black man.
I need you to get to the point.
Like,
so
my
I can
point
respond.
is that no, and I'm not trying to be funny. Unless, like you said, we're gonna keep it respectful.
Yeah, but you're monopolizing the whole conversation.
I'm
We're
not
not
trying.
being
Okay, I'm
able
gonna let
to.
you speak, but let's not get the
Yes.
attitudes and stuff, because you're my sister and I respect you. So
I don't have an attitude. I'm being direct to you, but you're literally speaking this, and you're not going to do that with me either.
Okay,
so you're
I'm
stating your
respecting
point, and you've been stating your point for quite some time.
So
do you have
the
a
proper
reason
ways,
for
would
me
you
to
like,
respond?
would you allow me to respond? So that's a better response. Go ahead.
The response that I have for you is that everything you're saying does not exist in a vacuum. I actually agree with you in that, yes, there has been an incredible denigration of Black worth and Black pride in this nation. I think it's also very important to acknowledge what has contributed to that. And to state that it is only Black people that have contributed to that is a false flag. So we have to admit that. So in order to have this conversation around how we got here, you can't say, oh, well, we're caring about the white woman getting braids and that doesn't matter and this thing. All of that attaches. All of that is actually a very big part of the lack of worth of Black people.
I'll ask you, do you think we're resilient? What does resilience mean to you? Do you think we have to be perpetual victims, or do you think that Black people are resilient?
I think that those are two different conversations. I think that the concept of Black people being victims is really trying to not provide accountability to where the root problem for the actual cause is. And if we keep saying that somebody is a victim and that doesn't mean that the other person should have to actually have accountability, then what are we really doing? You can do both. You can be a victim and be resilient.
How do we do both if you stay in the victimhood? That's my question.
But your statement about Black people staying in the victim place is also your point of view.
But how do we rise above it?
We continue to rise above it by, one, pouring into our communities with mutual aid, but two, by simultaneously making sure that we are challenging the systems that are in place to impede us. We have so many opportunities where we are trying to do mutual aid, and those things get disrupted by folks who want to have capitalist gain, by folks who want privatization. We used to have all these mom and pop businesses in our communities.
There's over 3 million Black millionaires in America right now. You are an intelligent Black woman that is successful.
That's irrelevant.
No one's stopping me from doing anything. I'm an intelligent Black woman that graduated and is successful.
Many efforts have tried to stop me from doing what I do. We are not all equal in our capabilities. And we are not all equal in our ability to be invested in by others.
I agree with
we
you.
are not all
That's my question
equal
of
in our
resilient.
trauma.
Are we resilient?
We can't say because it is a false equivalency.
I believe that every Black person has resilience.
We
from
keep
slavery
trying,
all the way into
but we
today.
keep trying to cause.
I'm so sorry. You've been voted out.
We got voted out, right? Hold on a second. Shout out to Pops because he had a comment before we showed the video. He said they are groomed to distract you. They have no real skin in any of the stuff they defend.
Absolutely.
Very true.
Very much so. And let me be clear, if we're going by textbook definitions, and I've said this before on the show, I would be considered a conservative based on their definition, right? I would be considered a conservative. I believe in separation of church and state. I believe in small government. I believe in, you know what I'm saying, everybody having the right to build wealth and, you know what I'm saying, limited social and economic programs. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I don't agree with none of these fools. You know what I'm saying? But on textbook paper, people would probably say I'm a conservative. But I hold both parties equally accountable because what we get trapped into is this misnomer that both of these parties care about people on the bottom rung of the ladder, and they don't. Right? They're all bought and paid for to a certain degree. Now, will one party limit some of their anti-black racism and create some lift-all programs and disguise it in there? Yeah, absolutely. But what I think Amanda was trying to expound upon is this fallacy that black crime and lack of accountability and fatherless homes is inherently a Black American thing, and that's my problem with the conversation. You know, when the Italians got here, they were labeled as criminal. They had the highest crime stats in the country over Black Americans, right? When they got here, the Irish, same thing, Jews, the same thing, right? So the only correlation I can make between all of these groups is poverty. And if you don't address the poverty issue, right, it's easy to say, oh, you shouldn't be committing crimes. But if your minimum wage rate is $7 and the cost of living is $1,500 a month to rent an apartment, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have some crime because people want to live, right? And you know, the proximity of black people killing black people is damn near equal to that of white people killing white people, but we never hear white on white crime like you stated earlier. And you brought up domestic violence. And do you know the highest proponents of domestic violence? Do you know what group that is?
What's that?
Law enforcement. They have the highest rate of domestic violence in the country. Law enforcement. Your polices, your judges, right? Your sheriffs have the highest rates of domestic violence that goes highly unreported. You know what I mean? So stats, you know, I do love statistics, but I also am realistic in the fact that statistics can be manipulated to create a narrative as well.
True.
You know, whenever we talk about this black crime rate thing, they always say per capita afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
But when we look at raw numbers, the white community is way more violent, way more criminalistic based on raw numbers. You know what I'm saying? If we're going to go there. And it's crazy to me that nobody ever talks about these mass shooters, and nobody ever says it's because, oh man, white parents are failing their children because they keep going to shoot up schools. Nobody ever says that, even though we have an epidemic of white mass shooters. Nobody ever blames the white community for these. They were just lone wolves. That was an individual thing. He was mentally unstable. All these excuses, right? And in the black community, we don't condone none of these people. The majority of black people in the black community don't condone somebody robbing a liquor store. We don't get excited about that and be like, oh no, protect him at all costs. When somebody gets murdered, you know what I'm saying? Nobody condones that, and we make sure they get convicted. So, you know, let's stop putting out this narrative that black people just are inherently violent and inherently prone to crime. That's my issue with these narratives, even though in most of these, Chicago's not even top 10 right now.
Yeah, very true.
So what are we talking about? Quit bringing up Chicago.
You know, you know, it's crazy because, you know, I'm originally from San Bernardino. You know, I moved around a lot, you know what I'm saying, due to, you know, my pops, he's in the comments, you know, due to him being military. You know what I mean? But I'm originally from San Bernardino. And at one point in time, San Bernardino was the unaliving capital of the US. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about poverty, you're talking about crime, you're talking about all this other stuff, and this is where I'm from. So, you know, with that being said, I mean, it's one of these things where it's like we don't glorify it, but it is what it is. This is our community. This is where we come from. You know, I know you. I know me personally. You know, we've been the participants of losing people to violence in the streets. You know what I'm saying? At the hands of people who quote unquote look like the other person or whatever. You know, but again, there's a deeper root that we have to address internally. But I hate the fact that, you know, when people bring up stuff, especially when we're talking about rights, we're talking about, you know, injustices, especially that of police, because I'm not saying that all police are corrupt. There's definitely some good cops out there, but we have to address the elephant in the room that there are some really apparent bad cops out there. You know, that some people who definitely think that they're above the law, or some people who have their own insecurities or their own dislikes, per se, of people of different skin pigmentations. You know what I'm saying? So we've seen the best of both worlds. We've seen dirty cops. You know, we've seen racist cops. We've seen good cops. You know what I'm saying? We've seen good black people. We've seen bad black people. We've seen good and bad of all races. Why is it just marginalized to just a specific group when it comes to us? When we're saying, hey, don't shoot the innocent ones of us, then why is it, well, what about Chicago? What does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with
right? Like,
you know what I'm saying? We're saying, hey,
nothing to do with any of that.
I'm unarmed. I have nothing on me. Why are you sitting there? Why are you harassing me? Why are you racially profiling me? What does that have to do with the fact that we're being racially profiled? You know, and I'm saying this, and I know it's cliche. You know, I'm a hip hop artist. I'm a rapper, but I have no criminal background. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yet and still, when I get stopped by a cop, they're not necessarily checking for that. I'm presumed guilty until proven innocent, as opposed to being proven, or as opposed to being innocent until proven guilty.
Well, this is the thing. You're right about that, right? Because we see it every time something happens to someone black. There's back in the third grade, he stole a pencil out of his teacher's desk. You know what I'm saying? They go all the way back to that, like he wasn't the victim, right? There's a need to criminalize that individual, but it's amazing to me that those conservatives always ignore the statistic that matters the most, which is an FBI statistic that says that law enforcement has been infiltrated by white supremacist organizations. The FBI said this. So if the FBI knows that there's white supremacist organizations infiltrating law enforcement, and then we say that, hey, we're being racially targeted, how can you then come to the conclusion to say that we full of shit and we don't know what we talking about?
That part.
That's the part that bothers me. That's not being a victim. That's paying attention to what's going on around me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll tell you this. You know when crime statistics were low in the black community, when we were policing ourselves, when we were interacting with law enforcement, because there used to be a time where even black cops couldn't carry a gun, right? As opposed to their white counterparts who could have guns. But the black cops usually had to work those black neighborhoods where they lived. And what we see now is a lot of times law enforcement is bringing people in from outside of the community to police the community. When in reality, what's that young mayor? I forgot his name. Young brother. You know what I'm saying? He already on his second term, voted in overwhelmingly. Democrat young brother in I want to say Maryland. I think. But
yeah, I don't know his name.
Yeah, but you know, this is going on, I think, the third year in a row where violence has dropped since he's been mayor, which is proof in the pudding. Even those countries that Donald Trump named, those I mean not countries, those 10 cities that he named, all of them, 7 out of 10 of them have reduced crime in their cities, and they're all black mayors. So when I look at stats like that, I look at it and say, when we have an individual who looks like us, who comes from us, and understands the plight of us, they're better equipped to deal with the individuals in those communities because they know what they need. They understand their pain points and can provide them with systems to help quell the upsurge in violence in those communities. It's just from my observation. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying that's what I see when I look at these things. You know, I'm no political expert, but I'm just saying, you know, if you have people that come in to police a community that don't live there, they have no ties to these people, so they don't care about what happens to them at the end of the day. Compared to, you know, somebody like me or yourself, if you were to become law enforcement in San Bernardino, or I was to become law enforcement in Oceanside, I can have conversations with different parts of the community in a different way because I come from that community. Right? My first thing isn't to, oh man, I was scared, I shot him, or you know what I'm saying? He's a crip, or he's a blood, I'm scared for my life. No, hey, you know what I'm saying? I know I can walk away. Hey, Oos, let's talk real quick. You know what I'm saying? You out here tripping, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hey, young cuz old man, and look, I know it's bad out here, but like, you know what I mean? Let's get it together. That's a different conversation.
It is. It definitely is.
You know what I mean? So that's just my take. But
yeah, I mean, like I said, for those, I'm sorry I can't. If you want to come on, I have the link in the description. So just hit that link, go to exit out, go to the description, hit it up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, it's a catch-22. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, I don't like when people like us, whether they're, as you would say, quote unquote, you know, foundational Black Americans or immigrant or first generational Black Americans. I mean, I found this clip today where, you know, Laz Alonso, you know, who's a Cuban, you know what I'm saying, full blood community. He said pretty much, before I'm Latin, I am a Black man. Police are not going to stop me and oh, are you Latin or are you X, Y, and Z? No, I'm Black. I'm Black first before I'm Latin. And, you know, whether, you know, it's just, it doesn't matter of the difference of, you know, whether, you know, my ancestors were dropped off in the Caribbean first or in the USA. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is still the struggle that I still face. And I'm glad that there's people like him that can realize it and, you know, and definitely speak on it. And I wish that there was more people who are like him that would acknowledge it and speak on it. The fact that, you know, you have some people like, you know, like the dude who said he was born in Angola and then lived in Maine and whatever. Like, I mean, you up there eating good, you know what I'm saying? You got the seafood popping, you know what I'm saying? You could tell us about clam chowder better than, you know, to some of us. But the fact that you're disconnected from what's going on to some of these inner cities that, you know, where, again, you know, the number one thing that I think that people need to definitely address is poverty. Because when you're living in poverty where you can basically, again, we're going through it right now, even as a middle class in a Republican majority, you know, government, you know what I'm saying? Things get tight. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're wondering where, hey, how am I going to pay this bill? Or, yeah, I need to pay this bill first before I pay this one or whatever, or to keep some type of money in my pocket. You know, when things like that start perpetuating your mind, I mean, when you think about the people who have not, then you wonder why crime rate is so high. You wonder why people's mentality is so high. You go to certain places within America and the educational system is poor. You know what I'm saying? Where they don't have the best quality books. They don't have the best type of education. They don't have the best type of monetary things that can actually help enhance certain things that as you would have as opposed to in Maine. Because I'm pretty sure in Maine there's a low poverty level as opposed to California or Georgia or Texas or a Tennessee or a Nevada. You know what I'm saying? Like where people have to be forced to live pretty much on top of each other because of the economical situations that they're placed in. You know what I'm saying? If you're fortunate enough to come from a family that actually has money, then, you know, you're actually well off. You know what I'm saying? But if you actually have to, quote unquote, like Quez would like to say, pull yourself up by the bootstraps, then, I mean, it becomes a little bit more harder. And so your reality may not be the reality that I see. But the fact of the matter is that when you come on here and try to like disseminate or make it seem lower or less than, it perpetuates me. Because like Laz Alonso said, nobody is checking the status to see if you're born in Angola, if you're born in Panama, if you're born in Cuba, Puerto Rican, whatever. There's certain things that you face as a Black person that I face as a Black American equates. And I think, go ahead.
Well, I wanted to say, and that's the point that Black Americans have been trying to make, right? Is that, you know, a lot of these other communities come over here and try to gather themselves to the proximity of whiteness. Even though they may look like us, they make it a point to distinguish that they're not us. And what we have been telling them the entire time is, bro, you can say that all you want to, but these racist folk don't give a damn about none of that. They don't care if you speak Spanish. They don't care if you speak Portuguese, Pig Latin. They don't care about none of that, clicks and pops. You know what I'm saying? That none of that matters, right? So you can try to delineate from us all you want to, and think you're gonna get different results, but they all end up having that great Negro wake up call. You know what I'm saying? And one of the major things I need, us as a community, you know, a foundation of Black Americans or African Americans, as y'all like to call yourselves, you know what I'm saying, is to hold these groups accountable, because what the conservatives have been doing is saying, well, no, we gave you money for these programs. We've given you funding. Like Baltimore per student in America, I believe, has the highest government pay per student in America. And they also have the highest illiteracy rate. So throwing money at something and it's not distributed correctly is a scapegoat, right? And then we also have the 13th Amendment, you know what I'm saying, trick bag, as I like to call it, because what does the 13th Amendment say? Slavery is abolished except for criminals, right? Mm-hmm. The imprisoned folk. So how do we keep getting slave labor, you know what I'm saying, without calling it slavery? Oh, we just criminalize everything that Black people do. We'll just keep criminalizing shit.
Big facts.
You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Give me a second. Let me get these kids real quick, because Denise is asleep and they're knocking on my door. I'll be right back.
Queen, I wish you were awake, because we're getting ready to talk about hip hop. But you know, like Quez was saying, I kind of lost my point. So the thing about it that I'm kind of circling back to is that, you know, the ones who sit up here and want to act as if they're not like us, in actuality and reality, compared to what you actually have to face here in America, you're exactly like us. So, you know, whether you're living in the suburbs, whether you're living in the quote unquote hood or ghettos of America, a lot of what we have to face, a lot of the obstacles that we have to overcome within this country are the same. So we're better working together as opposed to working separately. It's like what Malcolm X said, saying you could take this hand right here, have all these fingers that are separated, and you could slap somebody, and the impact is going to be like, hey, a sting. But when you close this fist and you strike this person, you're going to create a mighty blow. I'm paraphrasing a bit, but that's essentially what he was saying, is that when we come together, you can strike a mighty blow. Just like, with the boycott of Target, saying like a lot of, with Target, it wasn't a thing of a necessity of where we need to shop here. It was more so of a preference. I choose to shop here. And then once they chose to go on this other side of conservatism, where they're essentially eliminating or segregating themselves, or away from actually black products or even black struggles, saying, and we boycott, then it became a thing of like, hey, now they're feeling it. When they're losing billions of dollars, this is what happens when you actually come together and you strike that mighty blow. And so that's the one thing that I want to say to some of these black conservatives is get off your high horse and stop thinking that you're different just because, you live in a suburb, or just because you live in Maine, saying whatever like that. It does not differentiate you from what you actually may have to face. And it's mighty funny because, again, on this very show, we had somebody who actually said, hey, well, why don't you just comply when it comes to police brutality or police stopping over black individuals? When we talked about unarmed black people, this was the reply from a black person. And then when this person, quote unquote, faced the same adversity that we felt, then it becomes a war cry, or, hey, empathize with me, sympathize. This happened to me. There's an injustice. Come on my side. Well, what happened? Yeah, so complying didn't work, right? So don't negate the fact that, hey, that there may be an adversity or a struggle that one person may face. If we're trying to educate you and tell you that this is what you actually may face, but you negate it, or you simplify it, or you act like it doesn't exist. When it happens to you, then you want to start crying, oh, help me, because we're going to give you the same attitude that you gave us. And it's essentially the universal sign language of
that part.
So,
hey, it is what it is, man. I think that's where Black America is right now. We've been jumping in front of tear gas and rubber bullets for so long to protect so many other groups, to get shitted on and be like, oh man, you gotta just complain too much. You gotta still talk about slavery. You don't need reparations.
Keep talking, brother.
Yeah, you don't deserve justice, and all you gotta do is work hard, and everything will fall into place. And you know what I mean. And then when you get that great Negro wake up call, which is usually in the form of police brutality, which is usually in the form of some type of discrimination, which is usually in the form of some type of anti-black hatred, right? Then you want to yell out to the community, hey guys, they're doing it to me too. Well, no shit. We told you that. You know what I'm saying? Don't yell for us now. It's sort of the same instance of like, I got sisters, so maybe some people will understand this. When my sisters date an individual, and I got daughters as well, so only one of them is dating, so that I know of. Let me say that. You know what I'm saying? One of them is of age, but they be ducking and dodging me. But you know what I'm saying? If you get into a relationship, right, and something bad happens, let's say y'all arguing or whatever, and it gets intense. If I come over there and protect you, right, and then you go back, you can no longer call me. For real, my sisters know this. You only get one call. You know what I'm saying? If you make a call, something going down, and I show up to protect your good name and livelihood, and you being the woman that you are, and you decide to return after that situation, you are now on your own. You can't call me no more because I showed up to defend you, and you chose the side you chose. You know what I'm saying? Now if you get crazy or whatever, you might not have to call me. I mean, the conversation gonna be a little different. But what I mean by that is like you can't keep going over here poking the bear, and when the bear smack the shit out you, and I'm telling you, hey, leave that bear alone. You know what I'm saying? That bear gonna get you. And when the bear smack you, look at me like, man, go ahead and kill the bear. No, you kept poking the bear. I'm not gonna kill the bear for doing what bears do.
Very true.
I'm not gonna put myself in a situation where I gotta lose everything I love because you was hard headed. That's not how this gonna go.
Very true.
Those other communities, you know what I'm saying? If
you know what?
The support, hey, stand on business.
I gotta piggyback just a bit. You know what I'm saying? Because within this like little last 6 minutes of the segment, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of pack in another topic, which is highly very, very important that Black history is not canceled. So when Donald Trump was campaigning and we were talking on the stuff, again, it's really weird because we've seen a lot of Black conservatives. Well, Kamala's not Black, and all this other stupid ish that's irrelevant. Yeah, that it's really irrelevant to the whole fact. We're looking at it now that right now our history is under attack. We have people who are pretty much trying to erase the severity of slavery, or trying to erase the the impact that we actually placed in America, and it starts with the executive order, where this guy's literally saying like, "Hey, if any of you museums are talking about, slavery was hard or all this other stuff, then we're gonna cancel you to a certain extent." Again, you're trying to rewrite history, and you're trying to pretty much, tell a different story than what it was. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, a lot of this stuff, and as you can see within a lot of these Black conservatives, is the lack of education when it comes to Black history, because a lot of them are far removed, or they're just out of, or as Quez like to say, out of touch, with the reality of history. So therefore, if you have somebody saying, well, slavery wasn't that bad, or slavery was a choice, or the Black people or the Africans were selling you guys or selling your ancestors, you're trying to negate the fact that, hey, that no, there still was an institution in America that erased, a part of your history, of your existence. The fact that we have to use tools like Ancestry, DNA, 23andMe, MyHeritage, African Ancestry to actually find out who we are, because of the fact that at one point, if you were practicing in your native tongue, you're practicing in your native religion, or even practicing in your native customs, you were either sold, you were either hung, or you were, or for the most part, you were killed. You know what I'm saying? And so when we're talking about the severity or the weight of the history that we've actually faced as a people, and you have people who want to kind of like whitewash it or whatever, or take that away, it's very, very serious. And for people not to actually sit up and actually take this on a more serious note, it baffles me. And the fact that you can align yourself with somebody who's saying that, hey, this is okay, and you're attacking a person like an Amanda Seales, it really just questions your whole existence to me.
Well, I mean, aren't these the same people that say we should be accountable?
Right.
Oh, okay. We're listening to unaccountable people telling us to be accountable. That's my whole thing. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, right? at the end of the day, to me personally, I'm happy it's happening because
truthfully, me too. But go ahead.
Yeah, I'm happy it's happening because we fell into this slumber of, hey, America's not that racist anymore. You know what I'm saying? We're in a post-racial America, and everybody look. White people voted for Obama. You know what I'm saying? We were in that mode, and you know what I'm saying. And look, we got a black vice president, and hey, okay, all that sounds good. The Klan's still out here passing out flyers. You know what I'm saying? They say nobody said nothing to them. You know what I mean? Nobody said anything to them, and at the end of it all, if you're not teaching him, it's okay. You should never expect your oppressor to teach you anything.
Right.
That's where I'm at with it. So if you care that much, you'll pass that information down to your children, the people around you, the community around you. You'll make that a point now, and then we start to turn inwards and focus on self-reliance because the same government that told us, oh no, we care about you now, is allowing this to happen on both sides. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to make no qualms about it. Both sides is just, chilling. That's all I'm going to say. They both chilling.
Very true.
What's
up, Rob? What's up, Jessica? Welcome to the show. We're going to give you guys a few seconds. We're getting ready to jump into the next topic because we're running low on time. But I definitely appreciate you guys coming through. And so, what are your quick thoughts, real quick? Closing thoughts before I give mine, and then we move on.
Go ahead, Rob. I've been talking.
No, because it's gonna go on forever. It's gonna go on. Like I don't agree with anything they're doing with the history books or any of that stuff, man. It's that's gonna open a can of worms. It's just gonna go. Yeah, y'all said no.
History is definitely important. Definitely is not accurate to a certain extent to what's being taught. Or actually, what they choose to teach is definitely a deeper history that you definitely have to look into.
Oh, gee, yeah. I mean, this might be the last little 15 minutes when we talk about the top 5 Bay Area rappers. But we got Clarence Brown. So, Clarence, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
What's going on, brother?
Well, just basically, if you guys talked about Amanda Seales.
Yeah, we still on it.
Okay, well, check this out.
We're
you gotta
finally getting to
understand.
wrap off, but go ahead.
That debate was disingenuous because number one, they did not have any Black Americans in the debate. And what I mean by Black Americans, I mean people that are actually from the American soil. See, my folks on my father's side go back to Louisiana, and on my mother's side, my roots go back to South Carolina. The problem with that debate was you had people who were foreigners from foreign countries talking about Black issues. That's like me being an expert on baseball, trying to give my opinion on hockey. It's not the same. So what it is what I've noticed is like people like Amanda Seales, they appear to be sincere, but the problem is that she's a Democratic shill. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to get ahead of the curve because people are starting to delineate and separate themselves from the concept of just flat blackness. You know what I mean? Prime example of flat blackness is that whenever we saw anybody Black in the Olympics or we saw them doing something great in the accomplishment, we cheered for them, right? But when it comes to when Black Americans achieve or have successful things going on in their lives, the other foreign Black people kind of like give us the side eye. And oftentimes when they are getting rewards or some sort of premium from in our society, what ends up happening is that they'll be the first ones to say, oh, I'm the first Jamaican or I'm the first Nigerian to make this. And they put the Blackness to the side. It's more about their nationalism. So my thing is that what we need to do as Black Americans is start delineating and separating ourselves from a lot of the foolishness that's going on. Because when you have people like Amanda Seals and those conservatives debating, it's a disingenuous debate because they're not coming from the soil. They're not from the dirt.
I can see your, I definitely see your standpoint on that one.
Hey, you know I'm rocking with Clarence. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about the rest of y'all. You know what I mean? But my foundation of Black American brother Clarence, you know what I mean? Me and him on the same page. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Key. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
here's the one kicker is that, you know, Amanda Seals is not definitely a liberal. So, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, I can give her that, you know what I'm saying, because she's definitely you know, she put Obama, you know, Obama's feet to the fire, whatever. So what I'm saying it all to say is she's not biased. So she's definitely, I think she was definitely the perfect person to actually have that debate. But I agree with Clarence, and I agree with you of the fact that when you have predominantly most of the conservatives who are speaking on this, which has always been my issue, is that some of these people who are foreigners coming over here and definitely biting into to the conservative pie or sipping the conservative Kool-Aid, and they're just regurgitating a lot of the stuff that they hear from this side.
Right.
It really it disgusts me. Because again, you're talking about pulling yourself up from the bootstraps or certain things that you don't really necessarily know until you actually have your Negro wake up call. So
yeah,
I do agree with both you guys on that one, on that aspect.
I think one of the things they could have did was they wanted a more lively debate. They should have got brother Marcel Dixon from South Carolina. He recently ran for Congress in South Carolina, and his platform is all pro-Black American and it's pro-reparations. And then, see, that's another thing that I have a problem with is how are you going to come to a foreign country where the Black people in this country fought hard for you to have an opportunity to immigrate here and then bite our backs out when we demand reparations, talking about we don't deserve it. Well, you don't deserve to be in this country because if you left it up to white people, you would still be over wherever country you're at, because it was Black Americans that fought for equal opportunities in immigration. And that's what a lot of them forget. They think they come over here like, I'll give you a good example is the Black woman Winsome, what's her name? Winsome something in Virginia. She's running for governor, but her whole thing is that, oh, my dad came over here with $1.75 in his pocket.
It's always
but what she don't but what she's not telling you is that all the grants and the programs and scholarships that aided and were given to her dad because Black Americans fought for that, and because he falls under the umbrella of being a minority, he was able to benefit from that. If your folks flew over here in a jet or came over here in a jet plane, you're not like us. I'm sorry.
I can see your standpoint.
I gotta agree with my brother, man.
I agree.
You know, these are all points that I be bringing up, and you know, what I mean, I'm considered I'm considered the bad guy, and when I say I speak for a group of people who don't necessarily get on the show and talk, Brother Clarence is one of those types of individuals. You know what I'm saying? Because I listen to the grassroots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I may be middle class now. I may be, you know what I'm saying, have conservative values now, but I don't want to let the Democrats off the hook as well, because if we're looking at it, you know, Democrats crashed most of the reparations. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they did.
The Congressional Black Caucus is full of first generation immigrants.
Correct.
NAACP, full of first generation immigrants. You know what I'm saying? NAMBLA, not NAMBLA, I'm sorry. That's for something else. You know what I mean? But they over there too. But you know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of Democrats, you know what I'm saying, that are out here campaigning on behalf of Black Americans that don't know the Black American experience. And
right.
we need to quell that storm, because what conservatives and other groups of people are doing, they're saying, well, look at we got the Black guy said, you know what I'm saying, you don't deserve reparations.
So right. people of non-Black hue, I want to definitely stop taking a small handful and thinking that they speak for the majority of us out here, because they don't. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
some
Right.
of us can articulate and speak on our own and actually voice what we want. You know what I'm saying? They don't speak for the collective or generalizing.
Right. Like, sorry to cut you off, but like one of the things is that oftentimes with the debate of reparations it goes back to slavery. But it's not only slavery, it's all the things that happened after slavery. A prime example is that after World War II, they had all these bills that were passed to help benefit the soldiers coming back home. Some of the bills were housing grants. Some of those were educational grants. Some of them were the VA home loan, where the only thing you needed to do was put $1 down and have an honorable discharge from the service. And what happened was less than 2% of the black GIs, of the 2 million black GIs that fought in World War II, were denied those benefits. Now, how is it that we're not mentioning this and letting this be known? Because, you know what I'm saying? Black Americans have fought and died in every single war this country's had, and that we deserve our just due. My grandfather was a World War II veteran. My great grandfather was a World War I veteran. And it's like, when are we going to get our just due for the service that they gave for this country? Because it's owed. Another prime example is that when people always talk about, oh, well, reparations a freebie or it's a handout. No, it's not. It's a debt that's owed. Because when they were at one point in time in the history of this country, they were letting white immigrants come in and get land for free at the exclusion of black people that were still paying taxes in this country. So there's a lot of things that are owed to us that people are not getting, because you have people like Amanda Seals coming in and they're steering the debate in a different direction than where it needs to go.
So, you know, that's a valid point. So what we will do, we're going to actually have a taping of the show. So I'm letting the Drop Your 3 Cent community know we're going to tape this show maybe on like a Thursday or a Wednesday or Thursday. Maybe I think a Thursday, so we can air it on Friday. But, you know, we'll definitely talk about, you know, reparations, because I definitely want to have a talk about that. I think it's a deeper discussion of whether you're liberal, whether you're conservative, Democrat, Republican, if you really actually have deep concerns about actually getting paid, I think it's a conversation that we need to have, and then we blow this up on this platform or these platforms to start generating that talk, because I think it's something that's definitely owed to the descendants of people who actually helped build and people who've actually benefited from this country.
Mm-hmm.
So
what's up, Adoration?
We can all agree to that. What's up, Adoration?
You muted.
Hey guys. Hello,
Oh.
y'all. Sorry, I'm in Thailand now.
Oh, you made you got you another flight?
I did.
Your sick ass. You know what
I
I'm
know.
saying?
So definitely, Clarence. Yeah, definitely. If you want to, I definitely want to have a deeper, because your perspective is definitely deeper. You have a different one that aligns definitely with Quez. That's definitely respected here. So definitely, we want to make sure that we put that on a higher plateau when it comes to the platform too.
And this is the thing is, because you mentioned conservative and liberal. See, this is the problem with black folks getting caught up with those labels. Because see, one of the things is that in order to be conservative or liberal, you have to have access to resources. Because what's a black conservative conserving if he doesn't have resources? And what's a black liberal doing being liberal if they don't have resources? It's all about allocation and distribution of resources. That's where you get the term conservative or liberal. It really doesn't have to do with if you support the LGBTQ community or if you're for family values or if you're pro-life or pro-choice. But what it comes down to is where is the money getting spent and where is it getting allocated to? You know, and one of the things is that you'll see is that you never see any Jewish people come on and say, oh, no, we don't need any more money for Holocaust reparations. Be it them conservative or liberal, they all stand under one banner, regardless to whom or what. What we have to do now is we're going to have to weed and separate some folks You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you're conservative. I don't care if you're liberal, but we need to all come on one accord about this issue.
That's always been my stance too. And so I say conservative, I say liberal because there are people who put on this jacket. You know what I'm saying? Just like how you
phrase.
Huh?
No, I said it's just a common term of phrase. I get
common. So you know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where I've actually preached on it to where I said like that because again, like Quinn said in the beginning of the show, there are some viewpoints or some things that by textbook, you know, he would be considered a conservative, but he doesn't necessarily agree with the quote unquote Republican Party. Or
Right.
even with me, you know, saying I vote Democrat, I'm registered as Democrat, but there's things that I don't agree with the Democrat Party. Because I definitely know that, you know, when it comes to certain things, when it comes to us as black folks as a collective, that, you know, both parties sit up there and they dismiss. And, you know what I'm saying? And then when it comes to election time, both people or both candidates of the party want to put on dashikis or they want to kneel in Capitol buildings or they want to eat gumbo. You know what I'm saying, on Juneteenth, talking about, yeah, we love black people, and they give us little breadcrumbs and whatever. When we actually need the whole slice, no, F the whole slice, we need the whole loaf of bread. So you keep sitting up there and minusculing the actual fact of like, hey, there's some reparations or there's some things that we need to address that you keep bypassing or keep, you know, or dismissing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely up on that. So that's the one thing I've actually talked about is unifying as one, especially as a black as a community, is getting on one accord and start fighting for causes. And just like I said in the beginning of the show, when you have people who actually come together and you're causing $12 billion losses to a company, that just shows what happens when you actually unify. Where you can put your differences aside and actually come together for a common cause, you can strike a mighty blow. That's what I was saying earlier.
Amen.
So, Amen. So definitely, we'll put a 2-pick in that. You know what I mean? Because we definitely we got one more topic we want to talk about before we head out of here. But I definitely appreciate you, Clarence, and you know, and adoration. So I'll definitely make sure that I send the link. And especially with Method X, well, we can definitely get all types of voices, all types of perspectives, and we can have it on one accord on the show, and we can definitely talk about it because I definitely want to talk about certain things like this too. So,
bro, you wouldn't be able to get me to shut up on that, man. There's so much stuff, man.
That's the point.
We need a clear perspective. You know what I'm saying? We need a clear perspective.
You guys, I mean, my fellow Hebrews, y'all are on point. So there's just a lot. There's a lot more to it, and there's a big reason why a lot of that is not getting passed.
One of the things is like what we got to do with reparations is follow the money. All right.
Right.
Now, we know business is business, right? And that we know and understand that many of the financial institutions that are in existence today were initially started with slave policies. Do you know what a slave policy was?
Yeah.
Same way you would get insurance on equipment, you would get insurance on your slave. So if it got sick and died on you, you could be compensated by the insurance company.
Word.
You file a claim and they pay your claim.
All right,
so wild. I didn't even know that.
So, hey, we're gonna put a 2-pick because again, we want this to be the continuation of for next week.
We're gonna do a whole separate show for this.
I'm gonna do my research and I'll get much more information. Because my thing is the case for reparations is prima facie, meaning that there's no argument against it.
We're gonna talk about it definitely. So adoration, we want to sit down. I know you're traveling between Asian countries. We're gonna have you on here, Rob. You know, so I make sure I send the invites. We can definitely get this recorded. We can have it up for next Friday. You know what I'm saying? So we can definitely talk about it.
Sure.
So definitely what I gotta talk about next, though, we're gonna talk about the top 5, top 10 Bay Area rappers. You know what I'm saying? So it's just something that you guys definitely want to stick around for. You guys are well welcome to.
Can I say my 5?
Well, I gotta show some love real quick. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
We're long overdue, so I gotta definitely show some love, and then we'll be right back, and then we'll jump right into it. So let me go ahead. You said what?
No, I said commercial break. Let's get it.
Commercial break. We'll be right back.
This podcast deal is so cheap, it's practically stealing airtime. Small business owners, listen up. For just $25, yes, $25, you can get your brand featured on the Drop Your 3 Cents podcast. Here's what you get. 4 video ads running for 4 consecutive weeks, plus a full 30-minute interview to tell your brand's story and connect with new customers. Don't miss this opportunity to amplify your voice and grow your business. Drop your 3 cents with us today.
All right, y'all. So we are back. The last little 8 minutes of the show. You know what I'm
Jess,
saying?
I did that for you. Don't say I never did nothing for you, Jess. You know what I'm saying?
All right, y'all. So
coronavirus.
I've been seeing definitely lots of talks about, you know, top 5 lists, top 10 lists, to, you know, greatest of all time, whatever. So shout out to my cousin Erica. You know, I love her definitely. My aunt Debbie, you know, out there in the Bay. You know, you sent me a list of, you know, of people talking about the top, you know, Bay Area rappers, you know what I'm saying, of all time. And, you know, one of the lists I saw didn't have Tupac, and I got really offended by it. But they sent this to me by, like, basically, like, you know, a few weeks ago. But we have so many other different topics we have to definitely address. Wanted to make sure we address it now. So, you know, I want my folks up on here, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to kick it off. You know what I'm saying? Top 5, you know, a Bay Area. For me personally, you know, I'm gonna have to go with Too Short first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? Because he was the pioneer of Bay Area hip hop. You know what I'm saying? If there was no Too Short, I don't know where it would be. But a lot of people got their swag and game from Too Short. So I'm gonna have to go Too Short first. I'm going Pac second. E40. This is where it gets subjective because this is mine. Mac Dre, and then, you know, I know folks are gonna probably make fun of me or whatever, but I don't care. But his impact was huge. MC Hammer.
Yeah, hey. Nah,
no.
no. Your list is right and exact. You know what I'm saying? People sleep on Hammer, but Hammer was a beast, man.
Yep. All right, go ahead, Clarence. You up next, man. What's your list?
I got E40. I got Too Short. I got Mac Dre. I got Tupac. And then this is my wild card, Spice One.
That's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. That he doesn't get enough credit. He doesn't get enough credit. I mean,
he doesn't get enough credit.
Nah.
You know, so if I gotta do my honorable 6, Spice One.
Spice
Definitely
One.
I grew up on Spice
on
One.
The panties. You know what I'm saying? You gotta put Spice
Can
One.
I go next?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, so number 1, I'm gonna put up there because I was a big fan, and without him, I wouldn't have heard Tupac. Is Shock G.
Okay.
Number 2, of course, is Pac. Number 3 is E40. I have to go Spice One. I have to go Spice One on there, and I wanna do one for me personally, because it was probably like one of the first big artists I ever met. and I was like a freshman in high school, is Mac Mall. So,
Damn.
Mac
Yeah, you put it back with that one.
yeah.
Old ass. With your old
I'm just,
ass.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What's up, Project Slim?
I'm
Chicago,
32,
in
bro.
the house.
I'm 32.
Yo.
Go ahead, Adoration, do you have a top 5?
No, I don't even know most of the rappers y'all talking about.
Give us your top
Oh
5
my
K-pop.
God.
You know what I'm
Blasphemy.
saying? Top 5 K-pop. Adoration.
don't
Don't
listen
worry
to
about it.
K-pop,
We'll
y'all.
pass. We got you next week. You know what I'm
And
saying?
I don't,
Blasphemy.
live in the,
Blasphemy.
I don't live in the Bay Area too. Y'all like,
I know.
Well, as you can see, Adoration, we don't live in the Bay Area either.
No,
You know,
to
so-
Adoration's defense.
I'm from the East.
Adoration is in her 20s. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
she was born on the East Coast, and she don't live in America.
Yeah.
So.
I'm
Baltimore.
like, who are
Yeah.
these
All
old people y'all talking
Wait,
about?
Baltimore.
She's like, y'all super old. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Whatever.
whatever.
Jess, do you have any top 5
Go
Bay
ahead,
Area?
Jess. Who you got, Jess?
Go Jess.
I don't have top 5, but I don't even know why Tupac ain't number 1 on y'all's list.
Hey man,
So,
come on now.
Tupac.
Don't do that shit.
I
is
gave
number
my
1
reason.
always. West Coast, Bay Area, overall, Tupac is number 1.
Damn, come on now.
But is he number 1 best rapper or influence?
Here
Because
go
you have
Adoration. We
influence
don't
to
know
be
about
big enough
nobody
to
on
best
the
rapper.
list.
I'm just
Oh,
saying.
I get one honorable mention. My honorable 6 is Del the Funky Homo Sapien.
Ice Cube's cousin.
Who
Yes.
the fuck
Yes.
is that?
Because he started the whole hieroglyphics movement, you know.
He did.
So you could, you know, but you know, the Bay Area is so prolific when it comes to hip hop. It's like that's a tough list because then you got people like the new cats like La Russell coming up.
Simba.
You got, you know what I mean? You got with Mr. Fab. You got a lot of people that just
Larry June.
Yep, they bring it. They bring the Loonies.
Hey, hold on a second. Hey, Quez, who are your
Richie
top 5?
Rich, bro. Like Richie
No,
Rich.
it's Jess first. Jess still going. I'm sorry. Jess went on the Tupac tirade.
Oh, I'm sorry. Jess.
That's all Jess list is. Tupac.
Well, go ahead, Jess. Hurry up.
So, yeah.
No, I'm sorry. We just
It
time.
ain't my fault.
Go ahead, Jess.
I'm
Get it.
talking about politics the whole show.
Yeah,
So
get
Tupac. Number 2 would be E40. 3 would be probably MC Hammer. And then that's it.
Damn. Forget everybody else. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at
Okay,
you.
go ahead.
To be honest with you, as much as I love Pac, E40, E Fonzarelli, best thing since Triple Beam Pill. Pac, spit them LIPs is my number 1. You know what I'm saying? Then I go Tupac. Then I go Too Short, Mac Dreezy, and I think Spice One gonna round up number 5 for me, man. I gotta show so much love to Spice Weezy. You know, so yeah, that's my list. I'm gonna rock with that.
All solid lists. You can't go wrong with anybody on any of them lists.
Hey, what I want to say real quick, Project Slim, my Chicago, this is my cousin. We're not talking about LA, we're talking about Bay Area. And Bay in LA is completely different. Northern California is different than Southern California. And so you have a solid list, but but Bay Area, it's for influence for me, Too Short, my list, I've opened up for both Too Short and E40. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, Too Short, without Too Short, who originally is from LA, you know what I'm saying? But without Too Short, Bay Area hip hop would just definitely be different. And then, like what Rob was saying, with Shock G, his influence, you know what I'm saying, his creativity, he's underrated because of what he actually brought to the actual Bay Area.
Man, Shock G was a musical genius. Rest in peace.
Musical genius.
He could play 9 instruments like Prince.
Yeah, exactly. Just like DJ Quick. You know what I'm saying? So the one thing I can say for the people like the Adorations, you definitely have to study where stuff came from in order to know where you're going to go.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like with Michael Jackson wouldn't be anything if he didn't know about a Jackie Wilson or James Brown or
Right.
Marvin Gaye. You know what I'm saying? Like Tupac wouldn't be anything if he didn't know anything about a Scarface, about a Rakim or KRS-One. You know what I'm saying? Like it's, you know, Too Short was a pioneer of Bay Area hip hop. And same thing with MC Hammer. You know what I'm saying? And so the one thing that I can say that a lot of them were really innovative. So this is something that we definitely would have to bring back. You know what I'm saying? Like Bay Area hip hop is definitely overlooked. It doesn't really get the recognition it deserves, especially just Bay Area music, period. Like the Tonys, or the Sly and Family Stone, or the En Vogue, or the Sheila E's. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I love Sheila E too.
Man, I'm trying to tell you,
man.
So
I still got her shit on my playlist, man.
I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Hey y'all, but I love y'all. Like Jess likes to point out, you know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that we end this on a good note so I can go ahead and get my AI generated clips. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting. We start at 6:00 every Friday. We're going to do a special live taping. If you want to come on and you want to be a guest, just let me know. Put your threes up or go into my Gmail, drop your 3 cents at gmail.com. We're going to do a live taping on Thursday, so we can air it on Friday. We love you. Thank you for supporting, and we will catch you next time. Thank you for supporting. Drop your 3 cents. Peace.